Got it. Cool. Hi, hello, Be Creative Collective. How are you? Um, Welcome. We're here, right? You're here. The hardest part is showing up, even in my world. And I'm here hosting you. So please give yourself grace for whatever it takes to get to wherever you are, because it's perfect exactly where it is. I'm excited. I've really had very little time to give any of this any thought, as usual. And I really like it that way. So I have my own projects going on. You'll notice I've changed my room around a little bit. Um, Kids have been playing at that table right there. Things are still not put away from the hurricane. Um, and I've got ornaments going. That whole table right there is completely full of ornaments that are being glittered. So I've been thinking about showing you guys how to glitter, or at least doing a video to show how to glitter and seeing where that goes. I'll let you know. So I have no intentions. The thing that's on my list of things to do is to start sketching things that I want to put on ornaments, stuff that I want to draw, paint to put on ornaments. I'll grab my sketchbook, my personal sketchbook right here, because I know that it has a list of things that people are asking for. A Santa, a lightning bolt, the island that we live on, the state of Florida, a peace sign. You can see so I draw circles because all my ornaments are circles, and I just draw circles and see what it looks like on the inside. And this is just a peek at my sketchbook. I don't have a very hefty sketching practice. These are all from last year. I was painting on some square ornaments. I do always have some square ones. Just ideas that people give me. Kids playing. But anyway, I want to play around with some of these ideas, some of these things, a mountain, a sunflower, a butterfly, some of the birds around here, an egret, a little sandpiper, some of that stuff I might think about. Last week, I said I was going to do one thing and I ended up doing a completely different thing. So who knows, right? And grace once again to whatever it is that you end up doing. And permission. Consider this permission to do whatever you want to do. Watercolor paints, and that was always going to come out. This stuff was fun last week. I really did enjoy it. How funny my, can you see that, the little stopper. So when I see something like this, I just want to take note of it, and I can right now. I'm just going to crack the seal. And that will likely liven up that little stopper, but just know that you probably have ink stuck up in there. I haven't shook this at all, so I know it's super separated. You can see that it's separated on the inside there. It's pretty. That dropper might end up being like that forever, and that's okay. It's gonna be that. What do I feel like playing with today? So here's the projects from last week. This one hasn't found a frame yet, although I'm ready to put that one in the frame. This was the other thing that that we created, or that I created. That one doesn't feel finished, but I really don't know what else I would do with it at this point. So that one's just gonna stay put for a little bit. This one I kind of felt pretty finished with. I really like this concept. I saw the woman do the same thing again, but with candles. And so like the flame was the lit part. Um, I really like the concept of the negative painting, leaving something as bright as you can make it and then making it darker and darker and darker as you go. I don't feel like doing anything with it. There was also this one. I kind of want to come in here with my pens, my paint pen. Maybe even some sort of texture on this would be fun. Oh, watercolor really just is so fun and so easy to just get out. And who knows, maybe we start, oh, this is all finished stuff too. I kind of want to make some paper wet and get something wet and like a first layer-ish down on something, and then maybe come into some of these with my paint markers with these or anything else that comes out of there or anywhere else. I think I do want to start with the birds are something I do want to start sketching. I don't know if any of this is screaming birds to me. That was really cool the way that showed up. But doing this kind of stuff, I think I might be feeling into that a little bit. These three things out. I don't know, guys. Since you're here with me to tell me what you were feeling into right now. Whatever it is, go for it. Put this away. Don't boggle my mind with too much. Just get into it. My family calls this hemming and hawing. Don't spend your time hemming and hawing. Here's my pieces of paper that I cut. These two are different from each other. Get that out and make two out of it. Only need one pack of those. Probably not going to use acrylic. Scraping something. Use a flat edge here. Tear that piece out. So, given that I really have nothing in my head right now, I'm really just setting myself up with a basic situation. My watercolor paints, my trusty watercolor paints. If you're still working from the Shoebox Studio set of paints, this is your set. You can see mine is super muddied and gummied up. I haven't cleaned that up. I need to. I had refilled these. You can put some tube paint in there and let it dry. I also made myself a real hot pink over here. But this is muddied up for my 3-year-old. Lovely. I like to use this one a little bit better, a little bit more, especially now that this one's muddied up. And then this is one that I picked up at, I believe, Tuesday morning. Any of the, the off department stores, whatever they are. That next level of department store that doesn't really have anything in stock normally, but it just gets lots of things. This is a really fun little kit, and it's fun too because it's like you can kind of open it and then it does have this too as a space to. So I'm just going with my own. I travel heavy with art supplies. I'm an art supply lady. But just this little kit, and you can see there's a place for a paintbrush. Like you can get away with this, and a couple sheets of paper and go out anywhere. Put color down on paper, which is fun and exhilarating, and it changes your mood instantly. Don't you think? Spraying one of my pieces of paper, and as I'm doing it, I'm recognizing that I probably want to tape it down, but I just don't. And I just don't tape stuff down that frequently. It's a pain. My paper instantly buckles. But I also kind of pick my paper up and play with it a little bit. Matter of fact, this is sitting here staring at me. So I'm going to do a base layer with this acrylic ink. Just because. One here and one there. Whoa. And just because I like a filtered. So the woman that has been doing the, I'm just moving paint around. We're literally just smooshing. She was talking about how you keep two things of water around, and it's a great point. One of them, I'll bring mine over here. One of them is your dirty water, and that's where you, I mean, it's obviously where you start, but the point is to try and keep a clean space of water. So I'm just beginning, but I'm gonna leave that clean for as long as I can. And so that when I decide to put fresh water on somewhere, okay, just letting this stuff dry. But I am gonna plop down some other colors. I'm literally just playing, and this feels so good. I don't know about you guys, but everything's crazy out there. And this feels amazing. So as I continue on, I'm going to keep using the dirty water, and I'll just keep using the dirty water until it gets too dirty. And if I need clean water somewhere, if I wanted to make a clean wash or go into a different color, then I can start using the other one. And then you've bought yourself quite a bit of time, but you always keep a little fresh water by keeping two of them. And never be afraid to just go change your water. It's one thing about my new studio that I don't have, and I wish I did, is water in here. I can go upstairs, but it's not the same as having water right in the studio. So I end up with a lot of these cups just sitting around with water. Especially when you're working with watercolor. It's the part that makes it do its thing. This reminds me of like high school. Turquoise and purple. Splash some yellow in just a second. So I've been hearing it from a lot of different places, and it's echoing my own sentiments and those that you guys have heard me say before as well. But our creativity is really um, a part of being human that I, it's not taken for granted. It's simply like ignored. It's considered uh, irrelevant and not important, and discouraged. I talk about this all the time, you guys. It's a broken record for me, but or for you from me. But I just hope you know that the act of doing this, what we're doing right here, just playing around, not making anything specific. I mean, I'm making two big blobs. I'm just using color. I'm doing whatever my heart desires. There's no agenda. I have nothing I'm copying. I have nothing I'm trying to mimic or, um, I mean, and if you are mimicking me, that's totally fine. This is what we're here to do. Um, anything, anything that you are doing, this action of just mixing is why I don't usually stop my daughter when she's mixing all the colors in my watercolor palette. Because even that, you're just exploring. And it's so cool. And it's such a gift to give yourself. Self-care is always that hot topic. Everyone's like, self-care, self-care. I don't know about you guys, but like the idea of like pedicures and bubble baths feel like a waste of time to me. And I don't want to, so traditional self-care is just not really the ticket anymore, right? It's doing something that's actually meaningful to you. And in a way, this also fits the productivity bucket. We all want to like use our time wisely and stay productive, which is a whole nother farce, but that's not what I'm talking about so much at this point as I am. This is one of those things that, although on the surface seems perhaps not important, it is. Like you're doing yourself a favor by participating in this. So bravo. Bravo. I just rinsed my brush off and went right back to the same color. That was silly. Um, this is lovely. I have no idea where this is going, what it could ever be. It doesn't matter. I'm seeing places on this page that I just want to cover and see what I'm kind of mesmerized by this color. Oops, I touched my clear water. I like this hot pink on top of the teal and turquoise. I'm really just letting the brush guide the way, twisting in my fingertips a little bit, pressure in and out, off and on, just letting the tip of the brush dance. And as it dries, I'm trying to kind of watch my water spots. And as they dry, I'm going to start going in with some yellow, some real bright yellow. I see glitter, hijack glitter. I've entirely forgotten about my other one over there drying. Get that yellow real good. Hmm. Don't forget to breathe. Reminding myself. All right, I'm gonna stick with the yellow over here. Why not? Ooh, there she goes. All right, so I've already tainted my dry water, or my dry water, my clean water. So when I go through this stuff, I'm just kind of looking at different sections and seeing if anything needs to be um, shushed or if I like the effect that's there. So I mean, like this is completely different than this, but I like that. This right in here to me seems just a little bit boring. So I wonder to myself, how can I bring something in there? I'm having a hard time dropping. Kind of think about squeezing my brush because I really want to just drop. Didn't work the way I wanted it to. Just need to load my brush up real big. Drop. But even that, see, the brushes are designed to pick up pigment. Still cool though. So since that's so much pigment right there, it's kind of picking up more of the acrylic than it's leaving the watercolor. I wonder if there's like a pigment variation. So also we're just kind of working with brushes here. Sometimes I really like to bring in like a stick, especially on that wet paper where this ink is on here. And I can actually like kind of affect the paper a little bit. Now this, once this dries, the paper will actually be kind of indented depending on what paper you're using. I'm using some watercolor paper. It's a thin watercolor paper, probably 140 pound, or probably 90 pound, honestly. If you begin to see shapes, you can, mimic those shapes. If you feel like you want to draw a flower or a mountain or a landscape shows up or whatever. I'm still very much still just moving stuff around. I'm noticing that something's coming up on I think it's mostly paint, but it looks like maybe some of my paper might be balling up a little bit. So, see, so that's probably about as tough as my paper wants to be worked. All right, so I'll leave that one alone for a minute. This one, I don't want to, where's my gold Posca pen, paint pen. Now there's still some wet parts in here, but I'm either gonna like try and avoid them, or I'm just gonna make sure I keep my paper around. So when you're working with the paint pens, you want to have just a random piece of paper, like type paper, typewriter paper, printer paper, and shake it up real good, especially the metallics. And then let's remember that if it's been a while since you've used your pen, you might want to open it with the lid up and either use the back of your lid or your finger to press it one time. Depending on your altitude, you might have a bubble. And you don't want that bubble to and waste all your ink on your paper. Okay, then you get it going. There's all kinds of tutorials. If you look on YouTube or if you look on whatever pen you're using website, they usually talk about how to clean your nibs. You can take much better care of your nibs. This one's in great shape. Can you see there? It's in great shape, but they're kind of a plasticky, and then the bigger sizes have like a foam-ish nib to it. You can take really good care of your nibs. You can also let them get really clogged up, and then they get really gunky. You can replace them, but you can also just clean them like in some, you really don't need mineral spirits, but some rubbing alcohol or something would make it go faster. But just like a damp paper towel, a cloth, I just ungunk it and be patient. I also run out of paint, so it might not be the nib's fault. It might just be that you're out of paint. So I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna be fairly intentional with this gold. kind of following some shapes, and yeah, my paper is still fairly, but I'm just gonna make a little trail through, and now that I'm going, I think I might end up making a trail with this gold, and then I might also do like a trail with white, and then a trail with blue, or not blue, black, and um, maybe then come back with details on different things. So I mean, I'm doodling. So here's a little wet spot. I kind of, yeah. So I got into that little wet spot right there. I don't know how well you can see. I got into this little wet spot right here, and I suddenly don't have any ink. So I'm going to come back over here to my, and get that going again, kind of clean off my nib, and then come maybe like more on the edge of that. Stay out of the wet spots. So I'm just kind of doodle bopping around. I really like the way that these fine point nibs, when they're flowing really well, it's like magic. And especially the metallic. I mean, kind of see how it's shining a little bit. Um, One thing that I'm thinking about right now is how when I do this type of work, I prefer to get closer to my paper. So like you're looking at the top of my head more than normal. I guess I could look here, but that's just a little bit different. So I'm gonna pull it back a little bit, and not do too much more of this part right now, just because I think I might set myself up differently and really go in like this on a couple of pieces before here too long. I'm just gonna make this into fun. um, this is really pretty. Makes me think I should do some gold on um, something else. But actually, before I do gold, I'll do one more set of gold here. This has like another spiral right here. All right, I'm gonna stop with the gold for a minute, and then I'm gonna come back over here, and I'm gonna make these guys. So this originally was kind of intended, I'm gonna get my black Posca pen out. These were kind of intended to be a little bit of a creature. And if that's his tail, he's got 1, 2, 3. I don't know if there's like wings. Is this his head or is that his head? I'm not sure that either that or leaves, but I kind of wanted to make it like a spooky creature thing. So I think I'm gonna go with this as his head. With some little nostrils. And like a little black tongue. And it's like leg. What is this? Some sort of like fin? Maybe he's got it's like a little ridge back all the way to his tail. And this is one foot. And this is another foot. And this is a foot. But this is like a wing. I don't know. And so this is his other foot. Yeah, I see it. We got a little creature there. He's got some sort of weird fin thing. It can be anything we want, right? Let's see if I can do it again. So here's his head. Little nose. Little tongue. That's it. What do I do here? Next week, I might work on a good kids craft to do another Halloween, a spooky Halloween something. Because we have a birthday party coming up that week and we're gonna have a bunch of kids over. So I'll be looking for spooky ideas that are perhaps kid friendly. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. But I'll do 3 of them. And then I might, let's see how we do it on time. And then I might actually put in some more color. Oh, this is the weird thing.
So now I want to get out, and I'm actually going to do it. I always have the urge to do it with my hands. I should just do it with my watercolor. Shoulds are never good. Because this is going to be super opaque, and I don't really want to do it opaque. But I also kind of do. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to drop a little green here, here, and here. See, it is going to cover it up. A little bit of yellow. So I've restocked my shoebox with crafter's paint. It's not as pigmented. It's a lot cheaper. It's a little bit more liquidy than what we started the shoebox with. See, this is going to cover everything up. Is that really what I wanted to do? Almost too late now. I'm not sure that's what I wanted to do. What are these guys? Oh. Really lightly, maybe. Finger paint, finger paint. Let's see what I can get out of this. So other than just like wanting to touch paint, I'm not really sure why I did this. I'm okay with it now that I've kind of scraping it thin, and I might even with this wet filbert just kind of try and thin out a little bit more of it even. Mix it in a little bit. I'm okay with it now. Kind of like it. Gave it way more of a camouflage look. These little dragon lizard things are kind of funny to me. They're not, they have a little bit, enough of a likeness to a dragon or a lizard, but they're fun. Paper towel. Yeah. All right, so I don't know why I did that. And I think that now I might, just for the sake of getting into all the things, let's get the oil pastels out. I might try and come back in and give a little, I kind of want to put some dark in the back. So I got my oil pastels out, and those are going on top of the acrylic paint. It was watercolor to start with. Now these are, definitely I'm not going to be able to smudge these very well. The oil on top of the And even I don't think a brush is going to do much with these oil. No, it's going to be pretty resistant. So once again, this big piece of paper is kind of biting me in the butt. Because my patience is thin, I guess, but that's also something to just kind of look into and lean into a little bit. Why am I, why am I resisting something like this when it's just a time constraint is kind of all I'm worried about. It doesn't actually exist. I'm going to get done exactly what I'm going to get done, and it doesn't matter. What am I getting? No amount that I get done is any better or worse than whatever prefabricated idea of something I should get done. Talk myself into circles on that one. Anyway, I'm observing the fact that I want this part. I didn't have any patience. I thought I needed to fill it in and everything, and I wanted to smear it so it goes faster, and I wanted to not give myself the enjoyment of just dragging this one crayon around the entire piece of paper. I'm wishing the paper was smaller so I didn't have as much space to cover. Maybe I could use a different color. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do that. And then ultimately in my head, it's maybe I can just enjoy what I'm doing right here. And so that would be the invitation. That would be what I'm blabbering about, is to allow yourself to kind of embrace the monotony of just trying to cover the rest of the page with a material that might take longer than you wish it did. Because I do wish that I was already done with this part, but I've really enjoyed letting my crayon and loosening up my fingers a little bit, letting it just drag around on my dragons, my little baby dragons. We'll call this a dragon nest. Dragon nest. I'm gonna get some red to go in on that purple. Looky there, I just went back to my oil pastels and decided to do another layer with a different color. What I found with layering is that by committing to layering and knowing that there's always more to put on, it allows you to take more risks a little bit, and it each layer feels like it happens quicker. Sometimes it does happen quicker when I paint my cups and I use these paint pens and I build lots of layers with those paint pens. That will the layers get shorter and shorter and shorter in time, and I know that for a fact, and there's less space to cover with each color you put on. So that's one, I don't know if that's a saving grace when you consider yourself working in layers, that each layer is going to seem faster and faster. But it also, you get used to the repetition, you get used to your space, you get used to which spaces you want to fill in. You go back to different spots and say, oh yeah, this is that spot where I keep putting a lot of stuff and I don't want to stay away. Or, ooh, that's the spot I keep missing and it doesn't have much going on. I need to really do something in there to make it engaging and entertaining. And like, oh, look at that. I just went around in a circle and I totally missed this corner over here. Okay. It's just kind of fun to watch your brain. I think this exercises and doing these things, especially working in layers, because you can know that you can always come back in and do something again there. This spot is where I put the water there and it's still wet, so it's not taking much of the oil pastel, which is totally fine. And I'm gonna put some green on these guys. I might come back. Well, the paint marker won't go very well over the, that's why I stopped with that idea. Because the paint marker won't go over the oil pastel very well. You can always try. But I'm pretty sure I know from trying in the past that I want to keep that paint marker away from the oil pastels. All right, three little, still a little bit darker still. Just kind of darkening in this backspace. This is what those colors are doing. The purple, the red. Red is very contrasty to the green. So they complement each other and also kind of offset each other, and it balances in the eye. So it helps both the dark stay darker and it helps the contrast of the lizards and staying lighter. Folks, that was fun. Dipping into all those things. This was really fun today. You see the gold flashing on that? I might hang out here for a little bit longer. I have another hour to myself before I'm with the kids again. This is really cool. I like this. I might go into this quite a bit more. This was the other one that has both the acrylic paint ink. So you really see the you can't, but the beaded up little parts of the paper where I've scraped too hard. It's all right. Now that it's dry, I can kind of just scrape those pieces off. This will be another fun one to kind of come in and doodle on, like this one. Now that it's dry. Happy creating. Thank you guys. If you have any ideas of what you'd like to play with, if there's something burning, some supply you'd like to check out, let me know. We can, yeah, explore together for sure. And if you'd like to do the glitter, the ornaments and the glitter ornaments, let me know. Alrighty, have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for being here wherever you are in the world. And thanks for being creative, especially with me. That was a lot of fun. Have a great night.